Unfortunately, we got some concerning news to discuss on today's show. I'm talking about Josh Jacobs and what that might mean for Sunday's game against the Denver Broncos, which is going to be a massive, massive game. I'll tell you everything you need to know about his knee injury, his practice status, and his possible game status for Sunday's game in Week 15. It's a little bit more of a sad show today. We usually keep it light around here. Lots of exciting news, lots of fun things to talk about this season, which is exactly why you should subscribe. The other reason, we're on a massive push to 20K subs, the biggest milestone yet on this channel. We're only 378 subs away. I got a goal. Let's get there by Sunday. Okay, how about that? Let's get there by Week 15 against Denver. Need you guys to help me out. It's free. It's easy to subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. All right, let's start talking about Josh Jacobs. If you missed it yesterday, Josh Jacobs was not at Packers practice, and you might be telling me, Joey, check your watch, check your phone. It's Thursday. It's not Wednesday. Well, unfortunately, new day, same story. As Packers head coach Matt Lafleur spoke to the media before practice today and said he'll likely miss his second straight day, which he did. He then is quoted by saying he's battling through it. We will see. And I don't know about you guys, but if my head coach, if Matt Lafleur ever says he's battling through it, we'll see. I don't really feel that great about that. And look, when you miss 2 days in a row of practice, that's when I start getting a little bit concerned. If you just miss one, especially if you're a veteran like Josh Jacobs is, especially if you've been dealing with injuries this season like Josh Jacobs has, it doesn't set off the alarm bells too much. That's honestly why we didn't even talk about it on yesterday's video. But when you miss two, that's when I start to get a little bit concerned. Matt Lafleur actually said that Josh Jacobs' knee injury is stemming from that Giants game from a few weeks ago. Obviously, it had him miss the following game against the Minnesota Vikings. And anytime you play at MetLife Stadium, play on that turf, play on that field, you're most likely going to get an injury or two. And unfortunately, Josh Jacobs is still battling through that injury that he suffered taking on New York. Matt Lafleur said he's doing everything he can in his power to be available on Sunday, but there is some, quote, concern with that availability. And I don't love that one bit. Not one bit. And it's not because I don't love Emanuel Wilson. It's not because I don't believe that Emanuel Wilson could do a fine job, because we've already seen that this year. But I don't love it because I believe Josh Jacobs is one of the best running backs in the National Football League. And we're finally seeing this rushing offense hit a little bit of stride with Anthony Belton in there at that right guard spot. I mean, look at this picture. 3rd and 1. Honestly, closer to 3rd and 2 against the Chicago Bears. Late in that game, it's tied. Right there, that's a guy who's probably about to lose 3 yards. He rips off 22. Now, I'm not saying Emanuel Wilson can't do that, but Josh Jacobs does that in his sleep. And you're about to face a rushing defense in Denver that is the best in football. 89 yards a game, second best. 3.7 yards a carry, best. They've only let up 17 rushes of 10 yards or more. Number 1. Okay? We know Vance Joseph and that Denver Broncos defense is unbelievable. The strongest in the NFL. And so I don't love the fact that you might be facing them without one of your best offensive weapons in Josh Jacobs. You think he'll play against Denver? Give me a yes or no in the comment section down below. Weigh in with your answer. Be honest with me, okay? Take off the green and gold colored glasses. Be objective. Yes or no down below in the comment section. Now, if he doesn't, I still do trust Emanuel Wilson. Emanuel Wilson showed me everything I needed to see in that game against Minnesota. The dude was an absolute workhorse. 28 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of them was an absolute man run up the gut, contact at the line of scrimmage, still able to fight his way into the end zone. And like I said 30 seconds ago, he was a workhorse. 56.5% of snap share, 30 touches, 125 yards from scrimmage, 2 tuds. I don't know if you're a fantasy football guy or girl, but 26.5 points per reception points. He rated as the 3rd best fantasy football running back when he played Minnesota. Like, the dude's an absolute warrior. He's so hard to bring down. He cuts well. He's fast. He's strong. Like, if he is the go-to guy, and if Josh Jacobs is not playing, I don't think the rushing attack is going to take a massive step back, but I would rather Josh Jacobs be there. On the other side of the coin, there is a chance you get MarShawn Lloyd back. There's a name we haven't talked about in a while. There's a guy we have not seen play football in a very, very long while. In fact, Matt Lafleur was asked about that today. We all know MarShawn Lloyd came back to practice last week. He was asked if there's a chance he returns to the 53-man roster. Lafleur said, I would absolutely say there's a chance. Now, the reason you have not really seen MarShawn Lloyd, not just this year, but let's call a spade, and his entire NFL career is because he cannot get past the injuries. This might be the most injury play guy I've ever seen in my life. He's played only a year and a half in the National Football League. He has enough injuries to make this a List 6 logo. Training camp injury 2024 to the hip. Then the preseason, hamstring. Week 1, sprained ankle. He's finally going to get back. Week 4, appendicitis. That's last year. Then training camp this year, suffers a groin injury. And then in preseason week 2, hamstring. Puts him on IR, and we have not seen him since. Look, it is time for MarShawn Lloyd, if he does play, to silence those haters. Silence those people saying, look, are we just ready to cut ties with MarShawn Lloyd and just say, sayonara, we see your ceiling, but your floor is literally 0 games played because you're suffering due to it. We all know the athlete that he is. We all know the player that he can be. He's just got to get on the field. I mean, look at how he tested in the combine. Look at that relative athletic score, 8.62. Look at that 40-yard dash, 9.08. He's just got to stay healthy. He's got to be healthy. Shoot, if he gets out of the 53-man and you see him play on Sunday, I'm not going to lie, I'd be pretty excited about it. Are you excited for MarShawn Lloyd, the possibility of him? If you are, do me one big favor. Hit that thumbs up button, like today's video, cast your vote that way. Coming up, we got some more concerning news to talk about. Does not end with Josh Jacobs. It's actually going to be about defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley and his future with the Green Bay Packers. Maybe not a long future. You'll see what I'm saying in a second. Make sure you guys hang out and check out our awesome sponsor with our friends at Underdog. It's as easy as 4 words. Make picks. Win money. Football season's in full swing. And Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Let's cut to the chase. Do you want to score $75 in bonus entries? Well, all you got to do is download the app, use our promo code Packers Report, and play your first $5. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Usually we do a 3-player lineup. We're just going to do a 2-player lineup today. Jaden Reed, Evan Ingram. I have the higher on Jaden Reed, 2.5 receptions. I also have the higher on Evan Ingram's 11.5 yards, longest reception. You can fade my picks. You can tail my picks. Just make sure you do it with our friends over at Underdog. Download the app today. Use promo code Packers Report to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Packers Report. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing-good-terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-Y or text HOPE-Y to 467-369. All right, it's time to talk Jeff Hafley. Look, we've discussed this literally since week 1. I think it was on my week 1 overreaction segment. Like, you can go back to my Monday video after the Lions game. Maybe it was my Friday video after the Commanders game. Regardless, we've talked about him being a head coach next year for a very long time because we've seen it coming. We've seen the tea leaves. He's too good of a defensive mind. We know somebody wants to snatch him up. Well, that somebody might be the New York Giants. His home team grew up in New Jersey, coached college ball in Boston College. He's a Northeast guy. They've had a job opening for quite a while, and apparently, per Sports Illustrated's Connor Orr, he's a heavy favorite. Orr goes on to say, Hafley rides into this season as arguably one of the top 5 candidates and a heavy favorite for the Giants job. He interviewed for the Jets head coaching job in 2024. This would be a big loss. Obviously, you've got a lot of talent, but Jeff Hafley, in my opinion, is a big reason for the success you're seeing in your defense this year. I mean, think about it. You came into this season, Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine as your cornerback 1 and cornerback 2. Every single one of us did not have great feelings about that room. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you. I was some of those people. I was one of those people. But Jeff Hafley has them playing as top cornerbacks in this league across the board. He's a big part of that. Sure, he's got Micah Parsons. But, outside of Micah Parsons and Xavier McKinney, it's not like there's any other just freak show Hall of Famers on this defense. He's done a phenomenal job. Are you worried about it, though? What's your concern level for Jeff Hafley leaving the Packers? Scale it for me, 1 to 100 down below. I'm probably sitting at a 70. I think there's a pretty good chance. I hope there's a good chance you guys follow me on social media. The links to both of my socials are in the comment section and description of today's video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel right here at the Packers Report.